What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Built by Bailey's. So, we have new home sale data that came out. It's not pretty. I'm going to be fully transparent with you guys. I know I've been deemed negative Nancy recently, a bear in the market views, whatever. I'm actually a realist. I've been through enough of these cycles, shall we say, either from the sidelines or literally, feet wet all the way in it. I've been a home builder, general contractor, realtor, and entrepreneur for a long time. And between my father going through all the real estate development that he did for 150 years, and watching from the sidelines, watching him growing up, watching and understanding the markets, going through business school, understanding what's going on, as things were unfolding, I became a realist. I am not going to be somebody that's going to sit there and try and sugarcoat it one way or the other. I'm not going to tell you we're all going to crash. I'm not going to tell you it's all perfect and don't worry about anything. But I want to get into really quickly the new home sale data, which is data that comes out from home builders. And that basically is telling you how they're doing. And it is a reflection of overall market conditions. It's just another piece to the puzzle that I'm watching. I'm going to share some information with you. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you don't have to do it. I'm just saying, it's a good idea if you want more information, if you want to learn more home building, general contracting, DIY remodeling home projects. I can show you how to do all kinds of stuff. Real estate investing, real estate overall, and basically anything that has to do with being an entrepreneur. It is here on this channel. So if you've stopped by for the first time, thanks for tuning in. Be patient, stay with me. You're going to get some information that you're digging for. And if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up on the way out. I would greatly appreciate that as well. And make sure you guys share the video if at all possible and you feel like it. I'm not going to pressure you. Hey, we're here. Let's talk about what you're here for. New home sale data. All right, like I said, it wasn't pretty. Let's kind of walk through this a little bit. Okay, so we got this info today. New home sales in the United States sank 16.6% month over month to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of $591,000 in April of 2022. All right, so we're in the middle of May. Well, towards the end of May now. Lowest since April of 2020, which is interesting because what was going on April of 2020? We were in the midst of the beginning of a pandemic, and everything stopped, right? Because of that. I mean, it wasn't because things were bad as far as the economy, development, home building, all that stuff was going gangbusters. But literally, people were told to stop. They can't work, go home, stay inside, the whole yada, 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 right? I'm not getting into that part, but that's why April of 2020 and even May of 2020 were really, really slow, is because of those factors. Okay. It's the lowest now since it's been from a shutdown of an entire globe. Okay. And well before below forecasts of 750,000 as rising construction and mortgage costs weigh on buyers' affordability. Now, I was talking about this with somebody earlier today, and between cost of construction, between interest rates that are going to continue to climb, and between a slowing demand, honestly, for new homes, although it's hard to tell right now in this area, but it is definitely slowing across the country. Those factors are going to show a slowdown in new home construction. Now, I kind of question why they forecasted 750,000. But you know what? It's all just a forecast, and it's just basically an educated guess. So we've got information leading us into talks of, as we're in the second quarter of the year, are we going to hit a recession? And what does that mean? And what does that mean for interest rates? And what does that mean for real estate? And what does that mean for home building? All right. So sales fell in all regions. The South was 19.8%, Midwest 15.1%, West, which is where I'm located, 13.8%, Northeast 5.9%. Now, Northeast only dropped 5.9, I believe, because their actual forecasts and their actual numbers, their actual build numbers weren't as far apart. So There's not as much happening. Now, you guys can drop in the comments below if you disagree with that. If you're in the Northeast, let me know. But that's what I'm seeing as far as data goes. That's why that number is so much lower than all the other parts of the country. Meanwhile, median sales price of new houses sold last month was $450,600, which is much higher than the $376,600 a year earlier. Now, just so you guys understand, median home price means the middle, okay, home price. Average sales price was $570,000, up from $434,800 a year ago. Now, again, median means the middle of the basically that's the midpoint sale price across the country. Okay, that's kind of like the still affordable kind of number. That's where that still affordable kind of number is lying. But the average home sold across the country 570,300, up from 434,800 a year ago. That's now 8.3 months of supply inventory, almost twice 4.3 months a year earlier. Okay, so new home sales dropped dramatically. Lowest it's been since April 2020. Median home price continues to go up from a year ago. Average home price up over 100,000 from a year ago. So appreciable values, are kind of forecast, and our outlooking number is still going up quickly. That's a recipe for disaster. Okay. This will show you. This is basically your July 2021, October 2021, January 2022, and then back down to April 2022. This basically shows you your new home starts from a year and a half. Okay. That's kind of what your balance is going through new home sales. And again, this number was really, really bad. I went through and did a Case-Shiller home price index update and explanation in one of my other videos. Make sure you guys check that one out if you haven't. That's going to explain a little bit more of the situation overall and the next 6 to 8 months. I'm looking at another 2 to 3 year forecast in real estate at this point and home building. Again, I've talked about this before. What we're going to be seeing is a correction. It's not a crash as far as I can understand it. As far as I've seen it, it's not a crash, it's a correction, but that correction could be anywhere in the realm of 20 to 30% going forward. All right. So, quick numbers for you. Building permits, this is kind of how they forecast what's going on. Last numbers were 1823, previous was 1879, so you can see that dropped. These units are in thousands. Housing starts down slightly. New home sales down substantially, as we just talked about earlier. And then new homes month over month, there's your number at 16.6% overall. Okay. They've got a forecast in here. This is on Trading Economics. I look at some of these forecasts and I question, if we're having these numbers already and we're only in May, then how are we getting to some of these forecasts across the board when they're saying the decline is going to slow down and it won't be as bad as everybody's expecting. Here's the problem with that. The more I hear experts argue one side of a point that doesn't benefit them, the more I think that's exactly the opposite of what's going to happen. That's not a great way always to kind of forecast things and predict what's going on. But between numbers and the utter resilience to not talk about a downturn in a possible recession, the more I think that's exactly what we're going to be looking at moving into the second and third quarter. And again, a recession by technical definition is 2 quarters down in a row. We can't technically talk about that as far as a formula goes, because we're only past the first quarter of the year. We're in the second quarter. That is going to be the kicker. Okay, so let's take a quick look. This is the United States Census data. This is economic data from the United States Census as of May 18th of 2022. We've got basically the breakdown of building permits, housing starts, housing completions, and then the next release comes out. It's month per month. So that's where those numbers I showed you on trading economics are coming from. There is a error percentage that's in here. You can read through this, and explanatory notes tell you the errors and how the tables are read. I will put a link to this paper in the description below, so you guys can grab that and download it if you want. It's just a PDF, but it basically breaks down building permits, housing starts, housing completions. You got data in here for the last year up to this point, and then January, February, March, and April now of this year. So you can run through this data to see what's up, what's down, what these numbers truly mean. These are always good things to kind of take a look at, even if you're not a builder. If you're in real estate, you should be looking at the census numbers on new housing starts, because it is a decent way to pinpoint and forecast kind of market movement within real estate. And I highly recommend that you at least familiarize yourself enough with this, and at least get the data every month to kind of take a peek at it, because it's decent information. And like I said, it helps you forecast what's going on. It can also kind of give you an idea of maybe if there's a point in time when, if you want to bring your buyers or sellers out on the market, there may be a time to do that. I'm going to tell you right now, what I'm going to say is probably going to be debated, but I'm looking at an actual slowdown probably by the mid to end of summer in the real estate market. New housing is definitely going to start slowing down. My biggest concern right now, honestly, is the housing starts that are going on, meaning the ones that have started construction. I'm hoping will make it to completion. There's a couple projects in my area. These are multifamily, high density kind of projects, and they have halted. And they haven't halted because they're waiting on inspections or weather or anything like that. Although we've had some snow here in May, that hasn't stopped them. I'm not exactly sure what has. I know that inspection wise, there's a possibility on a couple of these projects, but some of the other ones, my concern now is either they slow down in being able to get draws from the banks, or not being able to qualify to push forward on the continued financing that is needed, or they're pushing pause because they have the money, but they're not filling the pre-sales as fast as they were even a year ago. Any one of those factors is not good. I'm going to go with the latter ones, thinking there's no reason these projects should be sitting as long as they are in a quote unquote good economic move. So I'll keep my eye on that, keep you guys posted. But I want to share that information. Like I said, you can find this information at the U.S. Census, but I will have a link in the description below. I will keep my eyes on this. So uh, before you guys go, make sure that you follow me on Instagram at Shane Bailey Builder. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Ring the bell for notifications so you can keep up with this data with me. Follow all along, and hit that like button on the way out if you guys appreciate the video. Make sure you share it if you do too. And then, other than that, guys, keep going, keep pushing forward, keep your heads up, and keep building.